Nagaland. Very good place, but here the climate is very humid. Means sweating, full sweating. So I complete the course here for another 10 days, and afterwards I'll go to Kohima there. That is a hill station. I think like very good place there. Better than this. Like, so that is the thing. The people, the culture, everything is different. You know one thing? Yesterday I landed in Dimapur. 98% shops were closed. 98% shops closed. Like I was told that on Sunday, all the shops will be closed. One place in India I saw where all shops are closed on one day. Right? Having said that, let us um, please do right. Please do right. Right till you become right. See, this is the success. Right, right, right. You till succeed. Sorry, right till you become right. This is the mantra for mains. Really, true. Why? You may ask me why. See, I'll ask you one question. How will the UPSC examiner come to know that you have got some stuff or you have got some material which you to put forward? How will you come to know? You have to write, right? That is the only way we are communicating. Say, for example, a physical test for sub-inspector. You have to read 10 kilometers. You have to run 10 kilometers. Don't you prepare? We have to prepare for this by running. You have to, right? That is the only way to success. Today, if you read, after 1 week, nothing will be in your head. I am sure. Because we all have short memory. If you write, the things are different. But I'll tell you how to write, what to write, how to make short notes. No, don't make notes from Lakshmikant because you'll be writing the whole book. That's not the way. I'll tell all those things. Let us start the discussion. Okay. This is a very important thing, attitude. What is attitude? What is attitude? Just those of you who have attended the class previously, just message me. What is attitude? In, like, as I said, just keep the things very simple. 2 to 3 words. Very simple, 2 to 3 words. What is attitude? Just message me. Mental predisposition, summary evaluation of ABC. Great. Meghana, Vishwa, attitude is behavior, wrong. Attitude is behavior, wrong. Kavita ji, something to say regarding. Okay, we'll take up that, Suman. We'll take up test. Belief, wrong. We'll take up test things. Right? Let us complete this first. Feeling, behavior plus thoughts. Great. Right. See, here, very important thing is the name of the paper is Ethics, Integrity, and Aptitude. But they say in the preamble of the ethics syllabus that they are testing your attitude and problem solving ability. To test your ethics and integrity, they have taken attitude. Why? Because it is the predictor of your ethical behavior. If you take just your choices, we may not evaluate to a greater extent. In attitude, you have got emotions, you have got thought, you have got behavior. Attitude is an all-encompassing thing. Just think. Like there is a very beautiful or handsome boy or girl. You are here. Don't you think you have got that something related to that person? One like very posh girl comes in a BMW, like very like beautiful. What is your attitude? Take the other example. There is one girl from village with a traditional dress. She also comes. Both are standing side by side. There is something which happens in your mind. There is something comes to your mind. That is attitude. Are you getting me? Mental predispositions means you don't know who this girl is, but you have got an attitude. Let us discuss all these things in detail. Let's begin the things. And those of you who are like new, don't worry. These are the things which doesn't need any background. Any background. You can start your preparation here, right? Okay. See, I think you have internalized the syllabus. As I told you, any preparation of yours has to happen according to syllabus. Which syllabus? Main syllabus, along with previous year questions. This should be the thing. See, this is the syllabus. In attitude, first we'll see what is attitude. After that, we'll see the content. What attitude consists of. Then we'll discuss about the structure of attitude, the function of attitude. See here, one important thing, structure. As we discussed, values, ethics, morals, and your attitude, all these are mental constructs. Mental constructs. So these mental constructs, as we have studied, what are constructs? Anyone? What do you understand by construct? Leave apart mental, mind related, mental. Constructs. What are constructs? Just message me one or two words. What is a construct? Construct is a one. See, just two words. That cannot be. That cannot be quantified. Very good. Measured. Very good. But little one important thing is missing. No. It can be measured, but not directly. That direct point you are missing. So what is a construct? Construct is one which cannot be directly measured or observed. Can you see attitude? Can you see attitude? Can you see attitude? Only Meghana said no. Can you see values? Can you measure values? No. But here the very important thing you are missing is not directly. I may say you, like say for example, like I have a girlfriend, boyfriend, or anyone. I may say, darling, you don't know how much I like you. But my behavior, how I receive, how I look after the things. Don't you feel that imply how much I love? Are you getting the point? We cannot directly see, we cannot directly measure. That is the thing. But we can measure, but through indirect ways. Is the point clear to you? Right? So with respect to all these things, values, ethics, morals, very important is we cannot directly measure or observe. Is the point clear? Right? Maybe through case studies. Yes, indirect way. Indirect way. Directly not. Right? Is the point clear to you? Okay. Structure will be same and functions. So what are the functions this attitude is having? Say for example, there is something like this. Think that this is a snake. you have got some attitude towards nature. So what are the functions it is performing? Another example. There is one person, very tall, dark. He is having a chain, big chain here. He is having a cigarette in his hands. He is smoking on the road. You see that person. Will you approach him or will you avoid him? Will avoid him, right? So don't you think your attitude is performing a function here? Isn't it? Say, for example, there is a strict teacher. They have got an attitude. Because of that, there are many things done. Avoid. Yes, why do you avoid? Because of attitude. Right? So attitude has many functions. We'll discuss that. Right? Next, coming to the thing, attitude. How attitude influence and it is related to your thought and behavior. Here the thing is attitude having any relation with your thought and behavior? And if they are related, how they are related? That we will discuss. Next, we'll have social influence and persuasion. Very important. Nearly 50% of the case studies, this component will be there. Persuading and social influence. Then moral and political attitude. See here, my thing is, I'll say what is good, what is bad. I'll say where material is not available, where the things are not that clear. That because I'll say what I am. There is nothing like hide and seek. Right? This area is not having material. There is one material which is being circulated with respect to moral attitude. Otherwise, this political attitude, no material. In fact, if you just Google or go to any book, there is nothing like political attitude described. So, with respect to these three, you have got complete material, complete conceptual clarity on this. With respect to these things, this is very vague. Very vague. All teachers are saying what they feel is the correct. No authentic material. That is the thing. Right? So, having said all these things, a brief introduction of the whole chapter, very important chapter. Please do internalize everything what is. Right? What is attitude? You are feeling hungry. You are feeling sad. Can you take this as attitude? You participated in some work. You participated. You acted somewhere. Can you take this as an attitude? Somebody told behavior. In my opinion, or I think, or others say, can you take this as attitude? The answer is no. Your feelings are just your emotions. Here, very important thing, what you have to internalize is the affect part. Means there is some affect in, say for example, cockroach. Don't you feel you have got a feeling? How many of you are afraid of cockroaches? How many of you are afraid of cockroaches? No one? Means if you are saying yes, then maybe like if you are afraid of cockroaches means you are not a biology student. If you are a biology student, you won't be afraid because you will be catching cockroaches, you will be dissecting cockroaches. How many of you are afraid of spiders? Right? Okay. So here we have got an effect which is happening in you. This cannot be taken as attitude. It is very important. You have to put these things in your examination hall with respect to social change. I'll explain that in 1 or 2 minutes. Next, I acted. That is just behavior. In my opinion and thought, your opinion and thought with respect to cognition, with respect to reasoning, they are also not your act. Right? Then the next question is, can we equate our opinions, thoughts to attitude? The answer is, we have to take into consideration another important criteria with respect to opinions, thoughts, that is, how important are they? Say, for example, think, those of you new, internalize. In my view, Modi ji is the greatest leader India has ever seen. Did you get anything? Like here, there are two cases. Case number one. When I said, you can put anywhere, say for example here, in this place, I'll put some other person. In your opinion, like say for example, Sonia Gandhi. When I say these things, one thing, like if someone opposes these things, when you say that Modi is the greatest leader, if someone opposes, almost if you don't feel anything, like nothing has happened, then you don't have attitude. That is not attitude. It's just your feeling. On the other hand, if someone opposes these things, you become violent, you become emotional, you may act also on that. That is your attitude. Let me give you another example. Like we all might have heard some bad words, vulgar words to be precise, which refers to our parents, sisters, brothers. If anyone utters these words, what will be your reaction? We will just say, okay, let it go. That is the thing. That is your attitude. Here, what I meant to say is, you are having all the components in attitude, not just feeling, not just behavior, not just thought. Case one, if someone says that Modi ji is the greatest leader, if it doesn't matter much to you, whether the others agree or not, then it is just opinion. Second case, if others oppose or challenge your views about this topic, you get emotional and you have made some of these views part of your behavior. See here just your think component. Here, if someone opposes, you are becoming emotional, feeling component, affect component. You have got some behaviors also. So this is attitude. Here, you are not having emotions in case one. You are not having any behavior. So it is just your thought. It is just your opinion. Right? This is what I have explained. So attitude is equal to thought, emotion, and behavior components associated with an attitudinal object. Right? So attitude is the outcome of outside stimuli. No. Like you can't say like that. You can't say like that. Attitude is something different. Right? So what is your attitude made up of? Your thought. Think like thought, emotions, behavior. Right? Is this clear? This is very important. Say, for example, one example I'll give you. Caste system. Why we are not able to eliminate caste system? Our approach is not with respect to changing our attitude. See, thought, emotions, behavior, thought, cognition. Your thought may be having positive things. Say, for example, we should not follow casteism. It is bad. Things like that. Shivkumar is asking, like, which comes first? I'll explain and I'll get into that thing. In fact, a good question, right? What the present approaches are, they're just approaching here thought. They're not getting into emotions. They're not getting into behavioral component. If you just change the knowledge, change the thought, things won't work. Your attitude to change. What does this mean? Very important. Attitude change is very important because it has all the components. By changing just one, you cannot bring a holistic change. Right? So, dear students, how to bring about social change? How to bring about social change? For those of you new, anywhere, if you get the word social, just replace that word society. How do you bring changes in the society? How? Your answer should be, first and foremost, there should be change in attitude. Otherwise, it's not possible. Right? Moving forward, this is one definition which is mentioned in most of the books. This is given by Egley and Chaikan, defined attitude as a psychological tendency that is expressed by evaluating a particular entity with some degree of favor or disfavor. Psychological means arising in mind related to mental state of a person. So there is a psychological tendency. There is something which is happening in your mind. This is happening after you evaluate a particular entity with some degree of favor or disfavor. If you are not evaluating, you won't get attitude. Is the point clear? So evaluation is important. While evaluating, you are assigning favorable and disfavorable things, liking or disliking. Okay, recognizing, great. Next, reporting an attitudinal object involves making a decision. If you are not making a decision, if you are not evaluating, then you are not having an attitude. This may be in the form of liking or disliking, approving or disapproving, favoring or disapproving a particular issue, object, or a person. Right? If you don't evaluate, if you don't make a decision where you like the things, you approve the things, favor, or the opposite of these things, then you are not having attitude. Moving forward, can we have attitude towards anything? What is the answer for this? Those of you, can we have attitude on everything? What is the main prerequisite? On object, like, no, all. Can we have attitude on all the things? See this pen. Can we have attitude on this one? Why? Why you are having? Why you are having? Because you are evaluating this. Is the point clear? So anything, if you are evaluating, then you will be having attitude. To be specific, we can have attitude on anything or any stimuli that we have evaluated along the dimension of favorability can be conceptualized in attitudinal object, right? So anything you evaluate, anything you make a decision, then you have got attitude. You can have attitude on abstract concepts like liberalism, democracy, socialism, communism, sanskritization, westernization. You can have concepts. You can have on concrete objects like computer, pen, pencil, one's own self-esteem. You can have individual, a girl, a boy, prime minister, a football player, Saurav Ganguly, Dravid, Kohli. You can have social policy issues like capital punishment on anything if you are evaluating, right? The same thing which I have told. Okay, we'll move forward. This is simple. Let us take things which are little difficult. The content of attitude. Content of attitude. First and foremost, what does attitude consist of? Attitude consists of A, B, C. This is it. This is it. Nothing more than that. And you have to add one more thing, that is multi-component. See, 1, 2, 3, multi-component model. Just one line. According to multi-component model, content of attitude is equal to A, B, C. That's it. It says that attitude can be conceptualized as a summary evaluations that have A, B, C come. Right? See, this is the diagram which you have to write in the examples. Here, three important things which you have to internalize. One is multi-component model. Second is these people, Egley and Chaikar. In attitude, if you have to remember one name, then this is the name. Then the third is this thing. Right? This figure is important. Just make it CAB, just lines. Attitude. Okay. Let me just elaborate the things which we have discussed till now. Affect. A. Feelings or emotions associated with the attitudinal object. The feeling what you have towards a dog, towards a snake, towards a beautiful girl, towards a handsome boy. The emotions what you have, the affect, that is the affect. Behaviors with respect to this, tendency to act or also your past behaviors associated with it. You have got a past experience of what a posh, handsome boy will be. You have got a past experience as to how a rural boy interact. Then the third is cognition. Cognition means belief, thoughts, and attributes associated with a particular object. I once again reiterate, all of you somehow will internalize these things, but you forget this line. Associated with a particular object, that has to be there. Behavior associated with a particular object, affect associated with particular object, and cognition. Right? Next, this is also known as CAB model. For those of you like who asked like which comes. Here, I'll give an example to you, which I have already given. Say, for example, Buddha is. Through paper or through some one-to-one reference, you came to know that Buddha is very good. So what is that? That is cognition. After knowing that Buddha is, they are teaching very good, they are very dedicated. You started liking that. You started having, you started liking that. After that, you joined Buddha is. See, you first begin with cognition, your thought. Afterwards, your affect or emotions, which you attach with that one. Afterwards, your behavior. Generally, this line will be there, but this is not always correct. And this may not happen in sequence. Right? I repeat the things. Generally, it is said that C comes first, after A, after that B comes. So they have renamed this as cab model also, CAB, cab. But this is not true. Your cognition, your affect and behavior, they are not interrelated. Let me give you an example. You know that, you know that donating blood, donating blood is good. You know that donating organs is a good one. Is a good one. Don't you agree with me? How many of you say that donating organ is a good one? How many of you? How many of you? Like just message me. Same with blood. Then next question is, how many of you have made in your will or gone to some hospital or filled a form saying that after your death you will donate all your organs? How many of you have done it? You say that blood donation is very, very important, lifeline of the thing. How many of you are regularly donating blood for every 3 or 4 months? How many of you are donating? Why? Why is that? So the thing is, here, which comes first, which comes last, this is not certain. You have to take these things independent. Your cognition may not lead to your behavior. Your behavior and cognition may be different. Right? Are you getting the point? So, to avoid all the confusions, now let me say, when it comes to content of attitude, attitude consists of A, B, C, according to multi-component model given by Egli and Chaikel. This is it. This is also known as cab model. That's it. You explain the term. Don't go to the extent of saying after C comes A, after A comes B. No. In some cases, it is there, not in all cases. So you have to take them as independent. Attitude, what you get is summary evaluations of all these things, whether they are consequential or they are succeeding one after the other. Okay. Now let me move on. Okay. With the example here, green environment. I'll just read this. This is a simple example, and I have already explained the things for you. that there was a small disturbance. Okay. Suppose a group of people in your neighborhood started tree planting campaign as part of the Green India movement. Based on sufficient information about green environment, your views towards green environment is positive. You have got positive towards green environment. You feel very happy when you see greenery. You feel sad and angry when you see trees being cut down. You also actively participated in tree campaign. Here, identify A, B, C components. I have already highlighted the things. Internalize on your own. Here, your view towards green environment is positive. That is cognition. You feel very happy when you see greenery, affective. You participated in tree planting, behavior, right? The summary evaluation of that is your attitude. Then the question is, can we predict one component on the basis of other two? Just give me the answer. Can we predict one component based on the another? No, no, no. Okay. Here, we cannot exactly predict. Is the point clear to you? We cannot exactly predict the things, but there can be a logical guess. We can make a logical guess. Say, for example, I'm a very religious person. Say, for example, I read Bhagavad Gita regularly. That doesn't mean that I'll go to temple daily. But by logical interpretation, we can say that this person may go to the temple. You can't exactly predict the thing. You can make a guesswork here. Right? It is quite possible that the cognition of your Green India attitude is very strong, but affective and behavioral may be relatively weak. Or your cognition and affective positive, but your behavior may be neutral. Cognition, you know that tree planting is good. You feel very good. You like tree plants. But you may not yourself plant the trees. Right? What are mental predispositions you have? The same example. When you see a village boy or girl, when you see European or African, when you see like a sadhu or a guna, you think here, European, what is your attitude? One white person coming, generally the stories will be in shorts, sometimes in bunions. You have got a different attitude. Another person, some black individual with curly hair. So what does this mean? Means you already are having something which is fixed with respect to this. This is attitude. Also based on prejudice. Yes. Right? Is this clear? Attitudes are the mental predisposition. So if someone asks you, you have to say attitudes are the mental predisposition. 1 second. You can say attitude or summary evaluation that have affect behavior and cognitive function. Right? Am I clear? Okay. Green environment. Okay, this already we have covered. right? Any doubt with respect to those things? We have, sir, all are essential components. All are not only essential, indispensable. All are indispensable. If you don't have A, B, C, then it is you, not at all your attitude, Shivkumar. If you have just a feeling, that's your emotions feeling, that is just your affect component. If you have got a thought, opinion, it's just a opinion. Or attitude can be formed with two components? No. Three has to be there. I have already given. If three is not there, then you, that is not at all your attitude. Right? Any doubt? Like if you have, let me unmute you all. If you have got any doubt, please go ahead. Any doubt with respect to the things? Okay. Then I'll move ahead. Features of attitude. See, this is important in your examination. This may come, but it is not specifically mentioned in your syllabus. What is the syllabus? Attitude, content, structure, and function. But features of attitude is important for one important reason. It is given in NCERT. NCERT. This is one of the UPSC book, and it is needed for your better understanding of the thing. Right? Having said this, let me move forward. In addition to A, B, C components, attitude also have other properties or features. These are valence, extremeness, simplicity, and centrality. Here, one important aspect is your affect, behavior, and cognition should not be confused with this. Right? Let me explain these things in very simple words. Valence. Valence says whether you are having a positive, negative, or neutral thing with respect to an attitudinal object. Extremeness, on the other hand, says how extreme is your positiveness, how extreme is your negative. Then, when it comes to neutral, this is least extreme, least extreme. Next is simplicity and complexity. Here, we have to take attitude as a group, as a group. That is the concept. In the fourth one, centrality. When you take a group of attitudes, in that which attitude is having a greater force on other things. The one which is having greater force on other things can be considered as central attitude. This is in brief. Let me elaborate this. Please concentrate. Valence of an attitude tells us whether the attitude is positive or negative or neutral towards an attitudinal object. Suppose an attitude has to be expressed in 5-point scale ranging from 1 to 5. This is what happens. Say, for example, there is a book. Say, for example, Buddha IAS ethics book. You have to rate this in Amazon. So you have come across this 1 star, 2 star, 3, 4, 5. So what does this mean? When you give 1 star, what does that mean? 1 star. What does this mean if you give 5 stars? Here, when we give 1 or 2, that shows negative attitude we have. When we give 4 or 5, it shows positive attitude we have. When we give 3, okay, neither good nor bad, neutral. Is the point clear? So, here, with respect to valence, it is just saying whether you have got positive or negative towards the thing, right? When it comes to extremeness, see here, next we have got extreme. This is the scale. 1 is here, 5 is here, 3, 2, 4. Extremeness says how extreme is the valence. That is how negative or how positive your attitude is. Now tell me, which are the extreme attitudes? Now, just message me. Which are the extreme attitudes? Just type 1, 2, 3, 4. In that, which is the extreme? Great. Which is the least extreme? Which is the least extreme? Least extreme. Okay, 2 and 4 are also correct, but 3 is the correct one. 3. Someone is 1. Okay. Least extreme is 3. Right? Extremeness of an attitude indicates how positive or negative an attitude is. Right? So here, which are the most extreme things? 1, most extreme. 5, most extreme with respect to the positive. Neutral or least extreme is the third one. Right? Next is simplicity or complexity. Here, we have to take into consideration attitude has a group. Attitude has a group. How many attitudes are present within the attitude? Simplicity or complexity. This feature refers to how many attitudes are there within a broad attitude. I'll explain this. So, simplicity or complexity refers to how many attitudes are there in one attitude. Don't get confused. It's a little confusing. It's not that easy as to comprehend as first, like negative, positive, extremeness, right? Here, it refers to how many attitudes are there. I will explain this. Simple attitude. An attitude system is said to be simple if it consists only one or few attitudes. The attitude towards a particular person is likely to be constituted of mainly one attitude. Right? Or attitude towards an individual, an object, we can say that simple attitude. I'll explain this with more examples. The concept will be clear when I explain what a complex attitude. Complex attitude is said, an attitude is said to be complex if it is made up of many attitudes. Attitude towards health and well-being. Attitude towards world peace. Here, there are many things involved here. Let us take one. Your attitude towards health and well-being. Right? Here, your attitude towards well-being is in fact influenced by your attitude on many things with respect to physics, with respect to mental things, physical well-being, mental well-being. Some may think even in the religious way. Health and well-being is not simple attitude. It is having many things. World peace, on the other hand, there are many dimensions. World peace is made up of group of attitude. Let me explain this. Say, for example, this is one attitude where you have got other two attitudes. This is simple, one or two. On the other hand, you have got one attitude in that there are many attitudes present. The classical examples are this health and world peace. To take this as a standard example. Let me elaborate this. Simplicity or complexity. Here, to understand the things, you have to think attitude as a family consisting of several members. Here, with respect to health and well-being, in this, who are the family members? With respect to your physics, with respect to your mental status, with respect to being calm and serene. All these are part, they are members. As many points are there. Something I read there. Sir, how world peace is a complex attitude. Yes, I'll explain that. I'll explain. Here, to understand this concept, you have to think attitude has a family consisting of several members. Say, for example, world peace. Your attitude toward world peace is dependent on many things. Say, for example, your attitude towards the concepts of democracy, your attitude towards the people, your attitude towards the international organization, your attitude towards what world itself means, your attitude towards your neighbors. So all this put together, it is a complex. On the other hand, you take an individual. Individual is one here. It is a simple attitude. Generally, for example, let me make the things clear. Say, for example, Kohli, Virat Kohli. Here, generally, it is simple attitude because you will be having either a positive or negative thing. That's it. On the other hand, it is not the case with world peace, health and well-being. Attitude towards health and well-being, several member attitudes such as one concepts of physical and mental health, and not only that, one's concept and attitude towards happiness, what is well-being, all put together. So it is a complex attitude. Multi-member attitude within the attitudinal system should not be confused with three-component ABC described earlier. Each member attitude that belongs to an attitudinal system also has ABC. Self-explanatory, I'll explain this again. Say, for example, your attitude towards health and well-being. Here it has got many things: physical, mental, your attitude, health, well-being, all this. These are different from ABC. All this, in fact, your attitude towards health, this has ABC. Your mental thing, this has ABC. Each member attitude belonging to a attitudinal system in a complex attitude has ABC. Right? Is the point clear? Any doubt here? So, even in a complex attitude, the components will be having once again ABC. Right? Moving forward, centrality. Centrality refers to the role played by a particular attitude. In our previous example, we took like health and well-being. Here, one is mental health, physical health, your attitude towards health, your attitude towards well-being. Think that you are a youth. Youth, what you are doing? Are you going for yoga, meditation? Most, say for example, I often find people especially in Bangalore, in the hotspot, like hotspot of civil service preparation is now Chandra layout. There are 2-3 gyms. Students go to gym. At the same time, there are many centers where yoga, meditation is practiced. They're not going there. Why? Physics is the central attitude which is influencing the other things. Youths, they are never concerned about these things. The same, if you take a like 70 or 80 years person, 60, 70-year person, what he does he go to gym? No. Then for him, this mental thing is the central. So what is centrality? Centrality refers to the role played by a particular attitude in a group of attitudes in the system. One which is having more influence is central. One which is having less influence is said to be peripheral attitude. This refers to the role of a particular attitude in the attitudinal system. An attitude with greater centrality would influence the other attitude in the system much more than the non-central or peripheral attitude. Health and well-being, physical, mental health, happiness. Here, for youth generally, physical is the central attitude. For age, mental, peace, that is the central attitude. Because it is influencing more. Right? This is a standard example. Features, right? So valence says positive, negative, or neutral. Extreme, how much positive or how much negative. Simplicity, whether the attitude is made up of one or two attitudes. Complex, more than two, three. Centrality refers to the influence that attitude has. Right? This we have discussed. Okay. This we have already discussed. ABC, multi-component model. Right. Now, coming to the structure. Right? Any doubt with respect to the previous things? If you have got any doubt, please let me know. Okay, one doubt. Clear. Okay, great. Great. Don't worry. You are bound to get some doubt. Here, what I say is first, take the things what I say without doubt. Afterwards, you have to create doubt. You have to think. Are sir said like this? There is something missing here. Why can't this be like this? To begin with, you have to have like firm belief and you have to start without any doubt. Otherwise, you can't get into the concept itself. Am I clear in my subject? In ethics, first think whatever say is correct. Afterwards, think the other way. Whatever say I said is wrong. Or think the other way. Why not this? That is the quality of a well-educated person. Not just like reading the facts, analyzing, interpreting. That is the quality of a well-educated person. Ask anyone, what do you understand by a well-educated person? Nobody says. UPSC has already said that in the syllabus itself. Think, believe, achieve. Yes, great. Like structure of attitude. Okay. What do you understand by structure? Let me give you an example to understand this. There is one person, great man, think that he is 60 or 70 years. And there is another great man, think that he is 20 or 21 years. Like, okay, boy or girl. Here, structure of an individual, what does this mean? They say that that boy has a good structure. What does this mean? What is structure? Let me give another example. Structure of soil. What do you understand by structure of soil? Structure refers to how different parts are arranged. Physical look. That is that. What is that physical look? I say that this youth is having a good structure. Why I say that? Because structure refers to how the components or how the parts are arranged. Very good. How the components are arranged. When we say a boy has a good structure, we feel that some things there, right? Why won't we say that this individual elderly man, great man is having good structure? Because the parts are not that perfectly arranged or not in the way we thought. Are you getting the things? With respect to human body, it like say for example the parts like hand, body, all these things. Then in attitude, what are the things when it comes to structure? Okay, let me move on. Structure of attitude refers to how positive and negative evaluations are organized. See here, where is your attitude present? Your attitude is present in your brain. In your brain, how positive and negative things are present. That is the structure of attitude. See, you need a lot of imagination. Are you getting me? Attitude is a mental predisposition. Attitude is a summary evaluation. Here, how positive and negative evaluations are organized within and among ABC components. That is the structure of attitude. Right? Clear? Attitude refers to, or structure of attitude refers to how positive and negative evaluations are organized within and among. One, repeat it again. Okay. Attitude refers to how positive and negative evaluations are organized within and among the ABC components. All these things are present in your brain, right? Like these things will be clear when I go to the models which are present. These are present there. So here, positive and negative, how are they present? Where is positive? Where is negative evaluation? Are they going side by side together, or are they different? How are they arranged? Positive and negative, are they like bye bye, like both mingling, okay, chalo? Or are they like enemies, like one is on the other? If one is present, another is not present. Let me elaborate these things further. It will make the things clear. It refers to three-dimensional view of attitude. No, 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 no. Like, okay, your doubt will be cleared, Kavita madam. Just 1 minute. I'll explain the things. Structure of attitude. Here, there are two models explaining the structure of attitude. That is one-dimensional perspective of attitude. It says that if positive is present, then negative won't be there. Say, for example, if I like Modi ji, or if I like any person, Virat Kohli, I have got positive attitude. If I have positive attitude, then I won't be having negative attitude. Think and apply here. You have got a person, think any individual, you have got a positive attitude towards that individual. Then, do you have negative attitude also? Here, the thing is, according to this perspective, if one is present, other won't be present. One dimensional perspective is the one model. Second is two-dimensional perspective. Let me explain these things in simple word. Afterwards, I'll brief the things as given in. One dimension means, give example for one dimension. All of you give example for one dimension. One dimensional objective. Anything, one dimension. One dimension. Okay, two dimensions. Give example for two dimensions. No, no, no. Like general. No, no. Okay, good, good. Like what I am saying is here. Okay. In fact, my question was wrong. Okay. Let me give it. Single line. How many dimensions it has? A square. How many dimensions it has? Add another. Something like cone. How many dimensions you have got? So one line, one dimension. If you take this as the thing, you will have two dimensions. If you have take this, you will get three dimensions. Let me elaborate the thing. See, this is the. According to one dimensional view, this is a neutral point. This is the line. Here, if your attitude is located here, means negative, then there won't be positive. On the other hand, two-dimensional model, say for example, here. This allows you to have both positive and negative at the same time. See, positive here, negative here. Say for example, this is like 5 units and this is 6 units. So it can be represented 5 into 6. Let me elaborate this further. One dimensional perspective of attitude, positive or negative elements are stored in single dimension. See, here you have to imagine. We are talking about attitude. Attitude is present in your mind. In your mind, how negative and positive evaluations are stored. If you think that they are in one dimension, or the model which says that positive and negative elements are along the single dimension, one dimension, that is one dimension. Here, positive inhibits the occurrence of negative. See, for example, here, this line, this is the neutral point, one dimension. You can have here or anywhere, one point. This is positive, this is negative. So presence of one inhibits the other. This is one of the important things with respect to the one dimensional. Next, two-dimensional perspective. Here the same as I showed. If you locate here, then you won't be having positive. If you locate here, you won't be having negative. Two-dimensional perspective, the elements are stored in two separate dimensions, means positive one in different dimensions, negative in different dimensions. Here, you can possess any combination of positive and negative. This is positive and this is negative. You can have any combination here. You can have like this. You can have like this. See here, this positive is very high, positive one. Negative is very less. In two-dimensional perspective, you can have both the things. Let me see in the chat, sir. Please give examples for two dimensions. Yes, I'll give two-dimensional perspective. Right? So let me see in the chat box what were the questions. I was just concentrating. Explain through some example. I'll do that. Next is that giving example. Okay. Which perspective is superior? To explain that, to know that, you should have a fair understanding. Okay, let me take an example. One dimensional perspective. Here it says that negative and positive evaluations are present in one dimension. Think of a case. Your attitude towards, say for example, Shah Rukh Khan, Hrithik Roshan. If it is positive, then it won't be having negative things, isn't it? That is the model. On the other hand, you take other examples. See, these are the models according to them. These are the things. Say, for example, two-dimensional perspective. Here, eating non-vegetarian. Eating non-vegetarian. For those of you who eat non-veg, this is positive, this is negative. Right? Here, you have got a positive attitude towards non-vegetarian because it is having proteins, it is having fatty acids, all these things. So, yeah. At the same time, you are having negative attitude for many reasons. Maybe your weight increases, you are killing animals. That may be, say for example, here it needs a lot of like internalizing the things. And in fact, on the first topic, attitude, content, structure, and function, almost no questions have come. And in fact, in future also, you may not expect questions here because it's just for conceptual understanding. This paper is to test your attitude. By that, they want to confirm your ethical standards and integrity. By asking questions on what is the content, what is the structure, they cannot evaluate your ethics and integrity. Right? Which perspective is superior? Here, one dimension is most widely used perspective because it's simple. Because you have got negative, positive. See, all ratings, Ola rating, book rating, you have got only one. Neutral, positive or negative. Pretty simple. So that is most widely used. On the other hand, two-dimensional has many advantages. The neutral point distinguishes between no interest and equal likes and dislikes. Let me explain. See, this is the two-dimension. Think that this is positive and this is negative, right? Now, here, this point. Here, there are two chances. Okay, let me take this first. One dimension perspective. This is positive thing, this is negative. This is the neutral point here. Here you are lucky. Can we say anything about this in one-dimensional model? Here, this neutral point may be of two things. One is no interest. Second, equal likes and dislikes. Do you agree with me or not? You may have a neutral point where there is no need, you are not interested. On the other hand, equal likes and dislikes. Here you cannot make out in one dimensional. In two dimensional, you can make out. Say for example, this point, no interest. Say for example, this point, 5 positive, 5 negative. This is also neutral because equal likes and dislikes, right? Is the point clear? So with respect to advantages, this is the major advantage. In two-dimensional perspective, we'll come to know whether it is no interest or equal likes and dislikes. But when it comes to one-dimensional perspective, this is not the case. We cannot distinguish between no interest or equal likes and dislikes. I have just explained this thing. Next, extent of likeness and dislike. Once again, like here. So, okay, let me explain this. Extent, to what extent? The same one dimensional, this is two dimensional. Negative, positive, this is neutral. Say for example, you have got a point here. Here you cannot say the extent of likes and dislikes. Here you also may have positive things and also negative, but location of this point inhibits the presence of others, according to this model. The extent of likes and dislikes is very, very important. Say for example, here, this is positive, this is negative. Positive is very high, negative is very less. This cannot be located in one dimension. Next, ambivalent attitude, an attitude where an individual both likes and dislikes an object. This is very important. In two-dimensional, you can have ambivalent, both liking and disliking, positive and negative will be there. But in one dimensional, you can't make out. Response polarization, very important from the case to its point of view. People who are highly ambivalent, what is ambivalent? They have got both likes and dislikes towards an object, are more strongly influenced by the features of their environment. Let me take the example of the same non-vegetarian or fried things. Fried means which are fried in oil. Here, a person who is having both positive and negative, say for example, is having both negative, positive and negative things. He will be more influenced by the environment. He has got equal likes and dislikes, but environment decides the things. People with high ambivalent attitude towards an object are more strongly influenced by the environment. You may have got both positive and negative attitude towards drinking alcohol. So you have got some status now. But all your friends, childhood friends have come together and they are partying. Then you may say, yes, drinking may be good. Environment influences. So these are the advantages what you have in two-dimensional perspective. So if they ask advantages and disadvantages, you have to tell both. One dimensional is very simple, easy to measure, easy to calculate. Two dimensional, complicated, but it has got all these four advantages. Right? Next thing is, do attitude perform any function? Do attitude perform any function? If they perform, what are the functions? What are the functions they perform? Right? Is the things clear with respect to the structure of attitude? See here, structure of attitude, this is very, very complicated. Don't think too much because very difficult to conceptualize. In fact, those people who have given this dimension, they are not that clear. Because see, for example, attitude itself is subjective, very subjective. Once again, we are making those things into negative or positive evaluations, putting in your brain, and we are thinking that in brain, these things are arranged like this. Nobody knows these things. These are just models, right? Okay. Functions the attitude perform. Okay, there is a snake. I'll note the participant, right? There is a snake. You have got some attitude towards the snake. This attitude has a very huge impact, and also it is performing some functions. You avoid snake. You avoid people whom you don't like. Say, for example, there is a person who always drinks alcohol. you have got an attitude. You avoid them. So don't you think it has performed a function? Do attitudes perform any function? Think. You have to think. See, just saying the things won't be equivalent to what you are thinking. See, like I'll be more happy when I am not able to answer your questions. In fact, you can make me that, but don't try because these are very subjective things. Like, okay, somehow don't ask questions for the sake of our questions. Shaping belief. Okay, values. Okay, identity. Very good. Identity. What are the functions? Good. I'll give you an example. One, Gandhiji. As you're aware, Gandhiji was from a good background, not from a humble background, well-off background. But whenever Gandhiji's image comes to our mind, what we feel, the specs, the stick, and he not wearing any upper wear. Does this perform any function? Next, let me give you another example. Two things. There are two people. One, okay, beliefs, okay. One, both are almost like everything is same, you think everything. But one is always dressing in traditional dress. Another always in modern dress. Now, is these things performing some functions or not? These dresses tell what are the values for which you stand. Say, for example, I am a girl who thinks of liberal things, very liberal, very educated. I feel libertarian, I take libertarian views. I dress the way I want. I do the things what I want. So it expresses who I am. Attitude performs those functions. Let me elaborate these things one by one. Simple one. Please give due attention. Attitudes, number one, classify objects in the environment for the purpose of action. I have given the example. One goon and another sadhu. You are classifying the objects. So here, your actions are pretty easy then. Attitudes classify objects in the environment for the purpose of action. Attitudes simplify our decision making. Say, for example, one gunda. Your attitudes simplify your decision making, not to approach him. There is one, say, for example, another example which you often find in civil service preparation. This is a library. Think this is a library. There are many people in that. Let us take A and B. A always make noise. Almost he comes to library, reads for 10 minutes, goes out. After 3 hours, he comes, reads for 10 minutes, goes for another 4 hours, comes like that. And there is another individual B. He is very studious. 1 hour he reads, takes 10 minutes break, comes again, reads, 10 minutes break, comes again. So here you have got different attitude with respect to these two. Is your attitude helping in decision making? Is your attitude helping in decision making or not? You approach or you somehow try to be in touch with this person. Why? You have got that attitude. Attitude is serving that function. Right? It simplifies decision making. Attitudes are energy saving devices because they make judgments faster and easier. When you see a goon, rowdy, someone, you are already decided as to what to do. Every time you see a person like this, there is no need of you to make trial and error method. No, already you have the thing. By this, your judgments become fast and easy. Anything, for example, say for example, there are two beggars, beggar A and beggar B. Beggar A is having all the like parts intact, legs, all these things. Somehow he says that like, okay, I am not seeing the things. My eye, like my eyes are blind, things like that. There is another individual, he is also a beggar, but he is not having one leg. Don't your attitude make your judgment fast? And I will bring another dimension. Often you find these people, especially like third gender or transgender people. They also like come across like when you are in a signal or anywhere. So what is the money you give? What is the money you give to transgender people who come on road or in train? Like how much money you give? 1 rupee? How much people give? What is the amount which you have seen? Don't say that I have not seen. What amount they do give? Wow, Mallu, great. 10 rupees, yes, standard. 10 rupees, Shivkumar. 10 to 50, okay, great, very liberal. Okay, the same for beggars. How much people will give? See, for this, it is like fixed almost. And in fact, you are afraid. If I give 1 rupee, what may happen? Isn't it? Why? This is because of your attitude. It is making the decision easy. This is saving your time and it is making the things very fast. Giving 10 rupees. See, this is the function. If you are not having attitude towards the people, say for example, those people who will be asking money, transgender people, what you have to do? You have to inquire why you need money, what you will do if I don't give, right? These are mental predispositions. Since you have them, your decision making, saving time, faster decisions, right? So these are the functions performed by attitude. Other than that, this is in general, and in fact, this is the more appealing way. To elaborate further, we have to discuss the attitude functions with respect to two important personalities. One is Pith and another is Fates. Very easy to remember. Let's just start the things in a systematic way. Till now, I just said the things overall in general. Let's go in a systematic function of attitude. What do you understand by function of attitude? Just needs fulfilled. Just remember two words. What is the function of, what do you understand by function of attitude? The needs fulfilled. The needs fulfilled by an attitude is known as the function of attitude. Very important. Don't keep the things very cumbersome. Make them very simple, yet authenticated, simple, holistic. Needs performed by that in many psychological books, they have said this as a psychological need fulfilled by attitude. You can just write needs fulfilled. That will be more than sufficient. If you just like want to be more accurate, try writing psychological needs fulfilled by an attitude. That's it. The models of attitude functions, that is one given by Smith et al. You can just use the name et al. Smith, Brunner, and White. No need to write. Just no. In fact, as I told, till date, no question on attitude, content, structure, and function. And I feel, especially with respect to these things, question may not come. Right? Another is Kate. You can remember Will Smith. Will Smith, English actor. Kate's Katrina Kate. So these two people they have given. What are they? They are very pretty simple. Please do internalize. I know like it's time up. Okay. For many, since many have attended since 6 p.m. also. Smith, according to Smith, attitude has object appraisal. Very simple word. Object appraisal. Employee appraisal. Work appraisal. The same meaning here. What they do in appraisal? They will take positive and negative things what you have done. So positive object function, it appraises, or to be simple, to make the thing simple, it summarizes the positive and negative attitudes of the object. In that, if it is positive, you approach that, beneficial you approach. If harmful, you avoid that. So object appraisal. So just think, there is one object, you are appraising that. What are the negative things? What are the positive things? If it is helpful, harmful, you avoid. Isn't it? Right? Object appraisal. Fine. Next is social adjustment. The same like object appraisal with respect to objects. This with respect to society. Society. Here, social adjustment, societal adjustment. How we identify with the people whom we like. We disassociate with the people whom we dislike. In fact, you know the ad thumbs up. It was not popular at all. Thumbs up was not that popular, but Mahesh Babu, Chiranjeevi, Salman Khan, and many others, they have acted and they have given ads. In fact, this soft drink became popular just because of these people. Why? They identify with their heroes. You might have seen, Boost is the secret of my energy. Those who identify themselves with that star, that Boost is the secret of my energy. Like when I was child, it was Kapil Dev. Kapil Dev used to come, bowl one is a classic style, and he used to say, Boost is my secret. And also a Complan ad. So what is that I'm saying here is, here you identify some people as good and some people as bad by liking and disliking. So you identify with the people whom you like and dissociate with the people whom you don't like. Next, externalization, defending the self against internal conflict. Bad golf. Externalization means there is something like always which is worrying. How you externalize that and make yourself peace and calm. Here, the classical example given in most of the books is golf. Say, for example, bad golfer. You're like, you have got access to all the things, but you think that this is the golf point, you are beating from here. Ball never goes here. You try however hard. So, how you do that? If you think that I'm very good, very bad golfer, I'm not able to put even a single ball into the hole, you feel guilty of yourself. On the other hand, think the other way. Golf is a very lazy game. I just go for seeing that this simply for company. I don't like that game, in fact. If you think like that, how your things should be? Let me give another example. Say, for example, with respect to externalization. There's a fox. There's a tree. Here are grapes. Think that this is a tree and these are grapes. This fox is very short, but fox tries to get the grapes. Tries. It doesn't get. If fox thinks that I'm not eligible, I'm weak, I'm feeble, that is the reason I'm not getting the grapes. If I would have been strong, I would have jumped. This is one way. Second way, the same fox here, the same grapes here. Fox tries, not available. Then it says, these grapes are very sour. I don't want this. I have got better alternative. If fox lives like that, how peaceful the fox will be. Let me take the other example. Civil service preparation. I entered civil service preparation, went to interview, tries 3, 7, 8 times mains. I did not get service. All the people who joined like service when I was preparing, they are now commissioners. Now they are DCs. Now they are the head of the department. They are the secretary. If I start repenting like that, where would I go? What will happen to my life? On the other hand, in fact, many of my friends who are in service, they say, Raghu, it's good that you didn't get into service. You don't know really. You are a happy person now. See, you are doing whatever you want. You are going to Nagaland, you went to Bombay, you meet a lot of people, you have a lot of students, you interact with them. That freedom, that thing is not there. As we have discussed, in bureaucracy, there is always a hierarchy. Constable is in direct supervision. What is hierarchy? Hierarchy means direct supervision and control of a subordinate by the superior. You just can't imagine. It is very difficult to get even 1 or 2 day leave. Very difficult. If I think like that, what will happen to my life? Take the other way. If I take Roman Saini, he got IAS. He left IAS and he is teaching. Means IAS is greater than, sorry, teaching is greater than IAS. So I will teach. This is known as externalization. Defend the self against the internal conflicts. This is one of the function of attitude. Coming to our kids here, knowledge function. According to kids, attitude perform knowledge function because they organize information. Attitudes have a utilitarian function, means they maximize reward and minimize punishment. Ego defense function means they protect the self-esteem of an individual. Ego, defending the ego, self. The third, value expressive function, expresses the self-concept and central values. I gave the example of Gandhiji. Another example, say for example, there is a employee who comes to office on a bicycle. It is expressing the self-concept and the central values. And there is an individual who has taken a pledge that I won't speak any other language other than Kannada. These things expresses for what they stand, what are their values. So these are the functions. Just try to internalize, try to come up with your own examples. These are very, very subjective. This is all about the function of action. Now, a very simple question for you. In this, which are similar? Object appraisal, social adjustment, adjusting to social, externalization. This is with respect to knowledge, this is with respect to utility, how beneficial, defending the self, value expression. In this, which are similar? Which are similar? Let me just brief the things for you so that you will answer. Object summarizes the attributes, positive and negative. Social adjustment, beneficial. It identify whether the people are beneficial to him or not. Associate with the people whom they like. Externalization, defending the self. Knowledge, organizing, utilitarian, reward and punishment. Ego defense, protection of self. Value expression, self concept, central value. Then in this, which are similar, which are having similar. Okay, one answer we got: object appraisal and utilitarian. Object appraisal and utilitarian. Very good, very good. Next, like you can say like 1 and 1, 2 and 3, I will understand. 1 and okay. Anyone? Externalization and ego defense. Very good. You got that thing, madam. Very good. Right. Another. Already, you're almost there. You're almost there. Apurva madam is concentrating. Good. 2 and 4. 2 and 4. No. Not 2 and 4, Suman. Senior citizens should not make this mistake. See, newcomers, they have told externalization and ego. See, 3 and 3. So these are the similarities in the same color. Object appraisal, knowledge and utility, right? Social adjustment with respect to ego defense. Sorry, externalization, ego defense. Value expression, all these things, according to them, some extra, right? These are pretty simple things. What I say is, don't bother much, don't read anything. You can't get anything better than this in any other material. Even if you read, that won't be of that use to you. This is what is required, and this is more than sufficient. If you want to go in depth with respect to other concepts in this chapter, not with respect to these things. These are purely psychological concepts, and the chances of you being asked are very less. Even if they ask, that will be pretty simple. Don't worry, don't go in depth. It will confuse you more. The main reason is they are not in line with your testing of ethics integrity by UPS. It is just knowledge, not interpretation, all this thing. Right? So these are the things. Okay, one. What is the difference between values and attitude? Okay, I have explained this, but for Kavita madam's sake, I'll explain it. See, madam, think that value. Love is a value, right? I love India. I love India. Or you can put any love. I love so and so. Right? I love India. Here, this is the value. This value is attached to one object. I love Hrithik Roshan. So this is your attitude. I love poor people. I hate poor people. When values are attached to an object, it becomes attitude. What are values? Students, what are values? Yes. Determined by sum of all, not only one. Not only thought, action, knowledge. Yes, important. Suman, great. So what are social values? What are social values? Important for society. Are you getting me? Here once again, important for yes, right? So values is equal to important. Anything important for anyone is their value, right? And when these are attached to an object, then that becomes your attitude. What are attitude? These are summary evaluations of ABC, right? How you get that attitude? How you evaluate? It is based on your value. Say, for example, think that mental predispositions. How you have this mental predisposition? What are the basis for your mental predispositions? Don't you think these are the values? You have got a mental predisposition of negative thing with respect to some person, some boy, some girl. Why? Because You are attaching certain values. These values are not present there, or these values are present there. That is the reason you like them. You internalize them. You have got a positive attitude towards them, right? So attitude means summary evaluation of ABC. Values means those things which are important. Don't worry about value. It's a very big chapter. Human values will take up in depth in that. As of now, you just remember these things. This will suffice, right? Okay. Any doubt with respect to these things? So this is a pretty simple thing. The next things what we'll be discussing are very important, and in fact, those are little difficult. So all the PDF of all these things I'll be giving now. I'll be just posting those things. Please go through them. That's it. Right? Okay. Any doubt? Okay, one. Repeat once case model of more. Okay. Any other doubt? Okay. Let us go to the first one. Here it's simple. It says that this is like what you have to keep in mind is we are talking about the functions of attitude. What are the functions the attitude performs? You have got some attitude towards something. What function is performed? You have got one goon in your area. You have got some attitude. So what are the functions it is performing? It is performing the knowledge function. It is giving the knowledge about that individual. It is organizing information. What is the function performing with respect to this example? It is utilitarian. This person is very dangerous. So avoid him. Right? By this, it increases your utility, maximizes reward, and minimizes punishment. Ego defense means protection of the self, protections of one's own self against external things. As I gave the example, if there is something disturbing, like if you are in conflict, your attitude will help you in defending the things. Let me make the thing. Ego defense. Here, you are having like many conflicting things. You have got certain behaviors, certain attitudes, certain feelings, many things. Here, by your attitude, you are defending yourself, the individual self. I give the example of the fox, a bad golfer. Say, for example, bad golfer is not at all good in golf. How he will protect his self-esteem? How he will protect his self-esteem? By saying or by developing a negative attitude towards golf. That's not at all a game. That's a silly game. Value expression function. The function performed by attitude, value expression. How your dress, the way you make the things, they express for what you stand for, self-expression of the expression of the self and the central values for what you stand. Right? So here one more important thing, I have already given you the PDF of my book. As I cover, please go through that book because all the things there are explained in detail. See here I have made in one line. There it will be one paragraph. I hope you are all going through that book. I'll once again post that book if you need. If you are not having, as and when I cover, you please do cover those things in the book also. Right? Any other doubt? Sir, your book is more than enough. It's more than enough. Along with what I teach, it's more than sufficient. In fact, I have got two books. If you go through those two, it's more than sufficient. I'll send that. I'll send that again. It's in Telegram. See, in Telegram, you be there because all the things will be at a place. In fact, even Telegram is one of the best than all apps. You take Baiju, Unacademy, or our Buddhist app, all the things. It is better. So all the things to a greater extent, it will be in Telegram. Just be the member of Telegram. I'll post the book again. Right? Okay. And that's it. That's it for today. Have a great day. I too had like a lot of teachings from morning 10 till now. It was very great. So please try to address my concern I expressed at the beginning. What is that, Shiv Kumar? What is that your concern? Like, okay, let me go here. Okay, okay, where is that? Okay, chat. What is that, Shiv Kumar? Like you said, in fact, I remember discussing the previous year question, right? Shiv Kumar. Access to recorded classes. Yes, yes, definitely will provide. We are working on that. As I told you, it will cost a huge, but we are working. And all these things already recorded classes or all the classes are there in YouTube and also Telegram. You can have access. All the classes are there. Anything more?